Hello, YouTube. It's Sidnie Iyland. That's Island with a Y, nine. That sound like that gospel music. Oh, girl, you better get it. You better get it. Anyways, y'all got my free hugs hat on because I know y'all Pisces like hugs. So let's get to it. By the way, I'm sorry to say that this is not a video to make Pisces seem great, although Pisces are great. This is a video that's gonna, tiptoeing over to the dark side to talk about the annoying habits of Pisces. Okay, so number one, Pisces, y'all talk too much. Y'all just talk too damn much, okay? And not only that, but y'all have a tendency to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk without thinking about what y'all saying. Y'all just talk, and there's no filter. And sometimes y'all can say stuff that's very offensive. For example, I met this guy who was a Pisces. I was in my college game room. We was just chilling. I was with some friends. He was with his friends. He was flirting with me. He asked for my number, yada, yada, yada. Fast forward to the story. He got my number, and we were talking on the phone. And he says to me, because he's a Pisces, and Pisces has a tendency to brag on themselves, to cover up their insecurities, which is another annoying thing about Pisces, by the way. He said to me on the phone, if I date you, I'll be settling. Say what? You've only known me for a day. So how could you possibly know if you're settling? How could you possibly know that you're too good for me is what I feel like you're trying to say. You're trying to say that you're too good for me. And how could you know that if you don't know me? So, come again? Yeah, Pisces, y'all say stuff that y'all shouldn't say. And it's kind of like, you're a grown man. Like, he's like 25. You're a grown man. Get it together. And I just felt like offended. I felt offended. And what am I supposed to do? If you want to get a girl to date you, why would you tell her I'm too good for you? If we date, I'm settling because I'm better than you, pretty much. Why would you say that? Like, that's ridiculous. And so it just made me think, you're a Pisces. And I've known a lot of Pisces who have a tendency to just say stuff that they shouldn't say. And they know they shouldn't say it, but they say it anyways. Or maybe they're just really that dumb and they don't know that they shouldn't say it. No offense. But sometimes y'all Pisces really need to think before y'all talk. And it's like they just don't care. They just say stuff and they don't imagine. You would think that, given how sensitive Pisces are, you would think that they would think about how that might make somebody else feel. But no. Pisces surprisingly can be really cruel and can be really mean because they have this vibe that they're like angels, they're the sign of delusion, right? So they can make you think that they're really sweet and they're really great, but secretly they're a mess. They're insecure and, they can be really manipulative and sneaky and rude and just kind of all the things that you kind of don't really want to be around. So that's the first thing is that y'all just talk too much. And when y'all do talk, y'all brag about yourselves instead of being honest and saying, I'm kind of insecure and I'm just trying to work on myself. Instead, y'all just brag and have this big old ego that's supposed to make us think that y'all love yourselves when y'all really don't. And y'all need to work on that because over time, people will be able to tell that you're faking. Okay, just saying. I'm dragging Pisces right now. And by the way, y'all, this is all for fun, so don't get really offended by any of this. If you do get offended, then it's probably just sparking something inside of you that you need to work on. Okay. So, anyways, number two, Pisces, y'all have a tendency to want to avoid talking about stuff that's really, in my opinion, important. Like, y'all rather talk about pizza and fries than to talk about real world problems because y'all are escape artists. Y'all are in outer space. Y'all don't really like to talk about stuff that's going on this planet, stuff that's really happening now, stuff that's affecting people now. Y'all rather talk about, unicorns and daisies and Fruit Loops. Like, honestly, like sometimes I think that's what's going on in Pisces' brain. Like, they are so in outer space. Like, it can be great and it can make them great artists and great philosophers, but it can also make them crazy, like outright delusional. Number three, another annoying habit about y'all Pisces is that y'all can be so overly emotional that it's kind of like you don't really want to be around them because you'll say one thing that makes them just start to cry. Just one thing that they don't like, one thing, and they'll start to cry, and then it'll make you feel like that you're a bully or that you're picking on them or something like that. And they a lot of times just They just bawl like babies, you know? And it's kind of like even grown adult Pisces who can be like in their 30s will still manage to somehow cry and say, you hurt my feelings. Number 4, this kind of connects to number 3, that Pisces, y'all have a tendency to play the victim. Nothing is ever y'all fault. Ever. Like, no, you hurt me, I didn't hurt you. Like, I am way too sweet and way too innocent to have ever done all those awful things you said I did. Except that they'll be crying when they say it. They're like, I didn't do that. I would never do that. Like, you're making me feel like a monster. I would never. Like, that's Pisces. Very dramatic. Pisces are very, very dramatic. Pisces has trouble owning up to their wrongdoings. They have trouble admitting they did something wrong because they kind of don't think they did anything wrong. Or if they deep down inside, they probably know they did something wrong, but they won't admit it. They won't admit it because they're not big enough. They can be very immature. And also they have like trouble with kind of putting their pride aside because they can be very prideful and very egotistical. And they have trouble putting their pride aside to admit that they did something wrong. Another, I don't know if I would say annoying habit, but this is a bad habit that Pisces have. Is this number 5? Yeah, I think it's number 5. Is that y'all are prone to drug addiction and alcohol addiction, which can be pretty dangerous, especially for Pisces because y'all are very sensitive. And this can cause y'all to have mental illness and stuff like that because y'all are super psychic and already in touch with the other side, and y'all can